What is up, good people? Jungle Link here. Hope you're doing well. Pretty good day for cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin up about 2.8% on the day. Ethereum and XRP up about 1.8%. Solana having a killer day, over $100, up about 4.5%. Cardano, the winner of the day for me, the ADA token, about 53 cents, up 7.5% on the day. Outside of those top tokens, pretty green day across the board. Nice day for cryptocurrencies. Yay for that. Now, BlackRock absolutely dominating with their Bitcoin ETF. They just passed $2 billion in holdings. From day one, I always thought this is going to be a shootout between BlackRock and Fidelity. Now, Fidelity's no slouch. They do their own custody. They've been involved with crypto for a long time. They allow Bitcoin and Ethereum trading directly on their platform. They're a contender, but at this point in time, I think this is BlackRock's game to lose. And again, someone's going to capture this market and get most of the trading volume. It's very valuable here. And we're seeing a lot of advertisement by these ETF issuers trying to get people over into their funds. Now, as good as it is for some of these ETFs, it's been absolutely awful for Grayscale. You continue to see these massive outflows. And the only reason I could see to sit around and hold GBTC is you're sitting on a massive gain. You don't want to take that tax hit just to move it over to a comparable investment vehicle to continue to have Bitcoin exposure. Outside of that, if you're not sitting on a big capital gain, move that sucker right now. But it may be cheaper for a lot of people to pay that 1.5% management fee in the short term at least, rather than to take that capital gain. So probably a lot of people can't get out at this point in time. If we see a dip, though, I think it's going to be catastrophic for Grayscale. It's going to be interesting. Does BlackRock, does Fidelity, or someone else, do they make a move on Grayscale to try to acquire them? Because if they did, man, it would be all over Red Rover. You get all that Bitcoin, a lot of market share, and if you didn't have those ridiculous fees, it's going to be a runaway. It'll be interesting to see if BlackRock or Fidelity are incentivized enough to make that move. Now, we see Anthony Scaramucci here. He's predicting that Bitcoin hits at least 170,000 post-halving. And if that happens, we see Bitcoin run up that much, it's going to be nuclear for the rest of the crypto space. Will be absolutely huge. Is that out of the realm of possibility? Absolutely not. But when I look at how he came to that number, well, he looked at prior halvings and he did some Forex math. And, I don't know what to tell you. That kind of stuff rarely works out. But we very well may see growth that big. I stopped doing price predictions myself. Last time around, I was shocked Bitcoin didn't break 100,000. And so I just sit back and say, you know what? I think it's going to go up. That's as much as I got for you. Now, we're seeing the SEC delay decisions for Grayscale and BlackRock spot ETFs. And if history repeats itself, the SEC is going to push this out to the last possible deadline before they make a decision. They want to deny this thing, but they're really backed into a corner. And a lot of that has to do with that Ripple court case. They lost in this huge way. It was deemed XRP itself is not a security, and it's going to be hard for the SEC to backtrack from that and try to use that reasoning against other tokens and claim the token itself as a security unless they got good reason. And there are some areas where you can claim that, but not with your major crypto assets. I think this gets done. They'll wait to the last possible moment. For BlackRock, that's August 7th. But if they do approve any, they'll probably approve them all at once like they did for Bitcoin. And so their deadline for a lot of these spot Ethereum ETFs is May. So we just may find out by May if this is going to happen or not. If it doesn't right now, it doesn't really matter. You will get an Ethereum ETF. It will expand to the broader crypto space. There's not going to be 6,000 ETFs or how many crypto tokens we have, but all your major ones will either have their own ETFs or be in some bundled product that gives people exposure to the broader market. It's coming. It's just a matter of time. And I'm not sure the SEC can delay this too much longer because of some of these massive court case losses. It's just not working out in their favor. Ripple hiring. To me, this is exciting. Blockchain payment firm Ripple is looking for a new hire who will support a bid to drive adoption of institutional decentralized finance. And so this is going to be a big area of growth for institutions, a lot that want to get into DeFi, that are kind of holding back for the right product. Might Ripple be able to build that out for them? And I think the XRP ledger makes a lot of sense for that, especially if we can add AMMs. It's great at tokenizing assets. So I think that could be a big use case for the XRP ledger, a big driver of institutional usage. And I think just a lot of growth for Ripple in general. Also, Ripple says it's headhunting for a senior management of business development to help the firm look for financial institutions and institutional investors who are keen on investing in tokenized real-world assets. Look, the day will come when every asset is tokenized and traded on a blockchain, essentially. And so the XRP ledger is a great place to do that. Since the very early days, you had the capability of putting any sort of value on the XRP ledger. And that really had most of Ripple's focus, even more than XRP itself from the very, very early days. If you listen to Chris Larsen talk, he was talking about putting all sorts of things on the ledger. Didn't talk a whole heck of a lot about XRP. So from day one, this has been built out for this use case, and we know this is going to be a big one. So both DeFi, tokenizing assets, both of these can be massive areas of growth for both, Ripple the company and the XRP ecosystem. And further, if Ripple's going to build out a lot of these tools and infrastructure, it's not just going to be institutions that can use this. This is an open source and public ledger. We can use a lot of these tools ourselves. So I really look forward to both of those two being built out. Now, I put this out, and I firmly believe this. I know people think there's some master plot, and XRP is only for institutions, and it's only for, all this kind of stuff. It's hogwash. Ripple got scared when FinCEN kicked in their doors, and they pivoted away from retail use cases and only working with institutions because they thought government would leave them alone. Well, that didn't work. And to me, you have this huge market of retail users that if Ripple rolled out a good app and a good service, dude, we would be all over this. We would be loading up in that sucker and using it. And I think they're really letting a big opportunity go to waste. And I posted this on Twitter. If Ripple released a retail app for the XRPL, would you use it? Of course, it would have to be a good and useful application. We'll see how, people respond, but I would think most would say yes. And I put Brad Garlinghouse. You have a huge customer base ready to use some cool new tools. Why concede this massive market that's itching to be your customer? And it's absolutely true. You're just letting Ethereum have a free run at all your retail users. And look what their token price is doing. You're just ignoring this whole market. Why? You could have some world-class apps. We're not banks. We're not institutions. We don't have to ask our board. Like, if the app's great, we're going to use it. Like, let's capture this market. I don't care what anyone says. I think if they don't eventually make a move on retail users, it'll be one of the biggest blunders in really crypto history. You got the clear, runway here to do it now. You have that court ruling. XRP is not a security. They can work with us now. You can do stuff on secondary exchanges, on the decentralized exchange, directly on the XRP ledger. They can build some stuff out, and it will rival anything. Let's go. Let's stop sitting back and just working with banks. There is no reason they can't pivot. They got tons of money, billions of dollars, tons of XRP. Like, you got the funding to make it happen. Let's go capture a market. I think it'd be huge. A Coinbase victory could end SEC's plans to appeal XRP ruling. This is the problem. If this thing actually has to go the distance, the Coinbase ruling won't be for years. So if the judge tosses this case out, then maybe it would come up where they'd have to stop everything they're pretty much doing with crypto unless it's something that is really related to security law. Not their wackadoo version of what they would like security law to be. I would think there'd be absolutely no chance that case gets tossed, but a lot of the experts that were there for the hearing felt, there is a chance here. So yes, if Coinbase gets this thing tossed out and we had this sweeping victory this early on, it's just going to derail everything the SEC wants to do, and they'll have to go back to the drawing board and pretty much leave crypto alone, in my opinion. Does that happen? I find it hard to believe. I think this thing goes the distance. Coinbase gets a massive victory, but takes a few years to happen. So we'll see how it is. Lastly, just remember, there's a whole lot of stuff going on right now. We have, problems between the U.S. and Iran. We have the Federal Reserve. Are they going to cut rates? They say only a 2% chance this month, but a 40% chance next month, and an 88% chance in May that we're going to see some cuts. So probably they're going to be bringing those interest rate down. It's probably an indicator that things are pretty rough out there. They have to do so. Just a lot of moving parts here. And if something pops up here and knocks crypto down, it's not a crypto problem, right? That's a global problem. We'll rebound from that nicely. But just know, tons of, landmines here in front of us as we clear this first quarter of this year. Something, causes a little bit of disruption. It's an opportunity. Don't worry about it. But again, you never know. I'm not saying that I think crypto is going to crash, but there's some scary stuff in front of us this quarter. Just be ready for it. Embrace it. Doesn't change much if it does happen. Again, this is just a chance to acquire premium cryptocurrencies at rock bottom prices, and you got to love it if that does happen. Otherwise, we're off to the races, and we're making money, and you got to love that as well. Let me know what you think down below. And as always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.